Hello and welcome to the United Community Channel. My name is Jack. This is your match reaction. Manchester United 0, Liverpool 3. And we've got the boys on as always. Sorry, let me do this. Can't even see Oshin. There we go.
Spielberg.
An absolute terrible performance, terrible result. I'm going to give you the floor on this one, Chris. I'll go to you first. I was positive around moments in that first half, but as soon as Liverpool scored, you were never seeing United coming back, I don't think.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get to see the first half. I tried to listen to it, where I was and everything like that, and it just didn't seem like we were very positive at that point. And then, I didn't see the 2 goals, but I heard that Casemiro gave up both of them. So, and I saw a couple of times that when I was trying to stream the game and everything, that it was, we not only him, but we were giving up the ball a lot in the midfield, like trying to play out through the back, and it just seemed like we were very sloppy today. And the second half that I did see, I don't understand it. Like, you brought on Toby Collier for Casemiro, that's fine, but like, he was playing higher up the pitch than Manu was and in front of Bruno when I saw him play up there. And I know you're trying to get a goal back, but you can't. They were just walking through our midfield. So hopefully Ugarte fixes a lot of that. It's going to be a tough one for him to do it by himself. And I got to be honest, like, I know Zirkzee had some chances and everything like that, but I think we still need to learn how to play with him up there, because it doesn't seem like they're together. You know what I mean? Like,
I get you. Oshin, give me your thoughts on it. Desperately disappointing, but there wasn't many positives to take from the game, I don't think.
No, it's hard to disagree with much that Chris says there. There was just no cohesion. Once the second goal went in, I saw it written in the chat that their heads would go down. I was hoping that they wouldn't. I'm surprised he took Casemiro off. I think he took Casemiro off at halftime to protect Casemiro, which is what every good manager would do. He would protect the player. But I just felt that Casemiro, without Casemiro out there, all we have is Collier, and Collier isn't ready for that level yet. He really isn't. He doesn't have the discipline. He doesn't have the experience. He's an 18-year-old kid thrown in against a World Cup winner, McAllister. He's never going to win that battle, and no matter how good he is.
We never say never.
The most surprising thing today was how Rashford lasted 90 minutes. I will never understand that. He had a decent preseason in terms of the effort he put in. He still wasn't scoring. He still wasn't firing on all cylinders, but he did put in a lot of effort. And I even said it, that he was picked today possibly to help.
Are they polyphonic ringtones?
No, that's my daughter's diabetes alarm saying her blood sugar was going high.
Right, okay. I thought you had a Nokia 3310 there or something.
No, that's the alarm. That's the alarm. It's going high. It's dinner time, so she's getting some insulin there now. But I thought he was picked today to help Mazraoui out at left full with Salah. He didn't even do that. He didn't even track back. He was jogging. He was bereft of ideas and clearly bereft of confidence. He got the ball a number of times in the second half, and he was facing either Trent Arnold or either one of the Liverpool centre halves, and he would just play the ball 5-10 yards backwards or 5-10 yards sideways. He wouldn't take anyone on. So there's something going on there. He's lacking the confidence, and I don't know how he's going to get it back, because he's not doing anything to even win over United fans at the moment.
But while you're there, Oshin, talk to me, because obviously Chris didn't see much of the first half. Is Casemiro finished? I don't think I've seen a worse first half performance from a Man United player in a long, long time.
Wow.
I even said in the chat when he was subbed, is this like Gary Neville against West Brom in 2013? Is that him done now? Is that him done? He was that bad, Chris. I know. I just saw your reaction. He was that bad. He couldn't.
Wow.
There was one point he got the ball. I think he was on the right hand side, and he played it played towards the touchline, thought he kicked the ball over touchline, but he didn't, and turned his back away and gave the ball back to Liverpool.
Yeah.
It was really.
There was one as well where there was a throw in to him, and he just, the throw in and just passed back to the thrower. He passes it 6 yards away from where the thrower was standing,
and straight out.
Jamie Carragher on commentary went, "Oh my God, that's right." You know what I mean?
I look, when he came in 2 seasons ago, he was a breath of fresh air. He was what we needed.
Yeah.
Last year, he was exposed with how Ten Hag was playing his midfielders high and wide away from him. And again, like Rashford in preseason, he looked lean, he looked fit, he looked like the player that we got 2 years ago. I don't think he's there. I think the legs are gone, and hopefully, maybe someone might come in tomorrow for the Saudi transfer deadline, and we might get 50 or 60 million for him. But I think we're going to find it hard to. I think he might play in cup games if he hangs around, but I think he's going to find it hard to displace Ugarte going forward.
Yeah, well, you know what? It has to be Ugarte now. It has to be, you know what I mean? And it will be. I'm quite sure of that. But I know where you're coming from in terms of selling him and getting some money in. I don't think we can afford to do that, because the only other option for us then is Collier, and we've seen him today as well. You know, I think Casemiro, as a backup on the bench, coming off the bench, I think could be quite effective, to be quite honest with you. When you need him for 15 or 20 minutes to see out a game or something like that, and just defend or whatever the case may be. But in terms of the presence and he's a fucking, like, he won 5 Champions Leagues with Real Madrid. I don't understand it, you know. Yeah, it's such a strange one. I have to say, it's such a strange one. But yeah, I think we're seeing the beginning of the end of Casemiro. But again, he's on massive wages, so we may never see the end of him until his contract is up. Talk to me about Zirkzee a little bit, Oisín. Didn't do an awful lot for me. Oh, hello. Didn't do an awful lot for me, but again was kind of working off of scraps at the same time.
Zirkzee is having the problem that United forwards have had for the last 5 or 6 years, and that we're playing the inverted wingers, and they want to come inside on a stronger foot to shoot. That he's the kind of player like Højlund who thrives on balls in behind the back four, something like getting down to the end line and whipping crosses in. That's his game. And when he comes short like that, he hasn't got the ability to play with his back to goal. He's not that kind of player. And we've no one. I thought Bruno was very poor today. I thought Bruno went missing today, and he didn't. When Zirkzee's game is either ball behind or a knock on to the number 10 behind him. Bruno more often than not was out on the right hand side. I don't know what he was doing out there, but Bruno was non-existent in the second half. I don't think. I definitely didn't hear you say his name. I don't recall seeing much of him when I was watching the game in the second half. Himself and Rashford were just anomalous in the second half.
Yeah, 100%. Chris, talk to me about Rashford then, because you've been one, in fairness to you, that has stuck up for him an awful lot when there has been criticism there. And again, I don't want to be seen like to be jumping on the bandwagon and you know, just constantly talking about Rashford, because, you know, nobody played well today, bar maybe the odd one or two kind of half-decent performances. But he can't keep getting away with poor performances and remaining on the pitch for 90 minutes. I mean, we've seen Ahmad coming on. He had more touches in the opposition box in the first 10 minutes he was on the field than any United player in the total 90 minutes. You know what I mean?
No, I agree. I mean, and I put it in the chat. You know, everybody's a little bit piling on him and everything like that, and I get it. I mean, there's not a whole lot to defend, but I mean, but to go with what Oisín was talking about, I mean, everybody wants Rashford to take the guy on one-on-one, but then we just talked about how Zirkzee needs the ball to be played behind, and he's playing the crosses in, and he's trying to do that. I think he's lost. I think he doesn't know what he should do. Like, I mean, I think he needs to sit, honestly. I can't defend him anymore. I think he needs to sit. I think our next game should have Garnacho on the left and Ahmad on the right, and that's what we should go with. And he needs to sit and watch. I mean, maybe he's mad because we sold Jadon Sancho, his buddy, and if so, then that's fine. Then you know what? You'll be the next one gone at that point. You know, if you don't want to play, I can't defend that. But I watched a couple things in the second half, like the one time, Jack, you said that he was one-on-one with the center back. But he's undecisive, yes. But the center backs, everybody that marks him is waiting for him to go on to his left foot. Like they're baiting him to go and just waiting for him to do it, and he doesn't have an answer for it.
Yeah, it's inexcusable though that when you're one-on-one with a centre half, you beat one player and you're in one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and for you to stop, turn around and pass it back to a centre midfielder it's inexcusable.
No, I get it, and I'm not trying to defend. I mean, I'm not saying that he was right in what he did. I think he needs to sit. I think this was the game that you hope at Old Trafford against a rival that you would have brought the best out of him, and it didn't. So therefore, he needs to sit next to Ruud and let Ruud show him as the other two play. I mean, honestly, at this point, I can't defend him. I mean, he played a couple nice crosses in. That's fine, but you should do that. I mean, that's not a I mean, I can't use that as a positive because that's what you should be doing. You should be making. I mean, there were 2 years ago, he looked like Ahmad coming down the right wing on the left side because he was taking guys on. He was doing the right things. He was, trying to take defenders on at speed and making it hard on them. Now he just makes it easy on them, and I can't defend him anymore. I mean, I still think there's a player there, but at the same time, he's not there right now. And I think he's going to be the next one out the door I think we're stuck with him for this year, but I think come maybe even January, if they sell him and they can bring someone else in because it's profit at that point. If somebody wants to come in for him and they can buy someone else, or in the summer, I think this next summer, he's gone. I think he really is. Even if he scores 25 goals, I still think he's gone. I still think they're going to sell him. Now, my only question is, from what I was listening and everything like that, I heard that De Ligt played pretty well.
Yeah, I thought he played well.
So yeah. I mean, I guess that's the one positive that we could say that. And when I did see him, I mean, he crunched Luis Diaz, which fine, that's what he should have done.
I think generally, I thought that and opposition fans will probably clip this up, but I think in general, our defense played quite well. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It was just individual errors by Casemiro this week, individual errors by Harry Maguire last week, and you lose 2 games. You know what I mean?
Well, if the midfielders are giving up the ball in a spot where you're not set up defensively, then it's going to be a problem. Because everybody's so wide and everybody's, because you're trying to play the ball out. So when you give the ball up and now everybody's trying to scramble back, I mean, I saw the first goal. I mean, there was just no one on the back post, and it's just, it's because we didn't have our defensive shape at that moment. But when we do have our defensive shape, I'm going to watch the first half here and as soon as we're done. But it's like I heard that he did well. So that's a positive, and I guess that's the only thing we can take away from it at that point. And I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm starting not to be an Onana fan.
Well, I was going to ask, that was going to be one of my questions. Do you think he could have done better for any of the goals? But
the third one, he's standing mid goal and the ball's going to back post. I don't know what I think he tries to be smarter than the attacker and tries to he's trying to figure out where he's going to go instead of reacting.
Mo Salah definitely had a hair transplant as well, by the way. Just looking at him on the telly here. Them corners are after getting filled in very quickly.
But I just think Onana's angles are terrible. His angles are really bad.
Oisin, I want to talk to you a little bit about Erik ten Hag. Finally, this is the first time I've felt less than 100% behind him. I won't lie. You know what I mean? I'll be honest. I've been a big Ten Hag supporter, but last week taking off Bruno Fernandes, this week allowing Rashford to get another 90 minutes. The substitutions that he's making are just not making sense to me. I know we talk about this style of play so much, and I do think there's the you can see a little bit of it there, but this is his 3rd season now, and they mentioned it on and I don't like referencing Jamie Carragher, but he said Arne Slot has got a style of play in 3 games, and this is Ten Hag's 3rd season. Is there an argument there?
No,
I've been saying it for a while now. His substitutions have been baffling me. Come even back to last season, there was just
you said that an awful lot last season about his substitute. You were on that early.
There was a lot of strange calls that to me made no sense. That I was at the time we were seeing it watching through TV. He's 15 yards away, and he's either not seeing it or he's ignoring it or whatever. I was going to mention before you referenced Carragher, I was saying that during the week that Slot is there 6 months and he's got a style. He's not even there 6 months and he's got a style to play. Yeah. Ten Hag is there 3 years and we're seeing glimpses. We're seeing glimpses, but nothing we can hold our hand up and say we're going to see that again next week and the week after. And there's only so often now we can start. We can blame the players who go out there, but he picks the players to go out there. Yeah. So there's only so much more we can blame the players for not inserting a style of play if there's no style of play there.
Yeah.
I was excited when Van Nistelrooy came on board, and I think in the first 2 games we saw a lot of interplay between our 4 forwards. But today, I said in the chat, they weren't even on the same book. Never mind the same page. They were all over the place. There was no communication there with the front 4.
Yeah.
Can we just write it off to a bad day at the office? Maybe, but there's only so many bad days at the office you can get. I know there's 35 more games there, but they'll come thick and fast.
Yeah.
And I think the international break, even though we're only 3 games in, has come at a good time for Ten Hag. He can reassess, especially after playing Liverpool. Yeah. He can reassess and figure out what he needs to do and where he needs to go.
Yeah, Chris, where are you on the whole Ten Hag situation? Yeah, it's the first time. Like I said, I haven't been. My support of him has wobbled a little bit. And I don't like saying that, but
I can see that.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's the only watch along I've ever done where I didn't speak for the last 15 minutes of it.
I mean, how do I say this? I'm in. I'm still Ten Hag in. I think that, I can say that I can see a style of play. I just don't think the players want. How do I say this? They don't want to play it, or they just don't. They're not the right players for it. Meaning, I don't think Rashford's the right player for it. I think Ahmad. I mean, I think you need to get Ahmad and Garnacho on the wings and let.
Yeah, but sorry to cut across you, Chris, and I know because I'm kind of correcting myself now more than anything else. But 0-0, I was saying this is fucking great. This is brilliant. We're actually playing well. We're not creating an awful lot, but you can see what we're trying to do. And I know a 3-0 defeat can sway your judgment a little bit, but. I mean, we've felt this way so many fucking times last season. How long can it continue to go on?
No, and I'll be honest with you. I think this is the moment where, as you say, the board and Jim Ratcliffe and Sir Jim and everybody comes together, and the international break comes up, and you kind of sit back and you go, all right, you got however many weeks. What is it? 2 weeks to our next game or whatnot? 10 days, and it's just like it's got to be better at this point, or. Something's going to happen. But the thing is, you take off McAllister or Szoboszlai, you bring on Gakpo, you bring on these. I mean, Liverpool has a team that when they bring players on, it doesn't change. When we bring players on, everything changes for us. When Maguire comes on, it changes for us. When Casemiro comes off, even though he was crap today, Toby Collier's nowhere near able to do what he needs to do. Mainu gets lost because as good as Kobe is, he's not ready to be the midfield general. He's not. And Bruno, I think Bruno gets lost in the shuffle, even though he shouldn't, but he does because he's not getting the service that he should get. And, Ahmad comes on, and like you said, he had all the touches and he was very positive, and that's what we need. And, and the other thing is Zirkzee is, and the one thing I can say is like watching the second half and watching Zirkzee play and everything. Yeah, he had a couple chances, he missed them. the header, the one that crossed that came in with his foot that went wide. But he's not a pressing forward, and that's an issue. Like his recovery is not fast. Like, you know what I mean? Like when he's like Højlund's an entirely different striker than Zirkzee is. Like when he's up top. So I think that's an issue as well. I mean, can it change? Yeah, that can change a little bit. But again, we're one transfer. I mean, I know he's been here for 3 years, but we're one transfer window or two transfer windows into what he was doing. And Arne Slot got a ready-made team. Erik ten Hag didn't get a ready-made team when he came into United, and we all know that. And it was, and that's, I mean, we would take half the guys on Liverpool's bench and put them in our starting squad at this point. I mean, Gakpo would have played in front of, if you play Gakpo at a 9, he'd play in front of Zirkzee right now. I'm sorry, he would.
Yeah.
You know,
I understand. Yeah,
and, you know, I mean, Connor Bradley would probably be playing right back for us or left back at that point. I mean, I don't think we don't have the squad. And again, what we're going to lack this year is we don't have any depth. We have zero depth on our squad. I mean,
sick of that fucking word.
I know, and I am too. But look at everybody that we got rid of. I mean, and everybody's going to bark, "Oh, we got rid of McTominay." What would he have done today? Run around a little bit faster? I mean, that's about it. I mean, he wouldn't have done anything else. I mean, I'm sorry. As a great servant of the club and everything like that, it's going to be hard. We have tough roads ahead of us. You know, I mean, I'm still positive in the fact that you look at what Ineos did in the transfer window, it's very positive. You know, $100 million net spend and everything like that is very positive. But we got tough roads ahead. And, I mean, honestly, we need to put the players out there. And I'll say this, Rashford needs to sit for a while, maybe come in to give guys a break, 15, 20 minutes a game until he does something, if and when he does something. But at the same time, we need to put the players out there that are gonna play and that are gonna run their legs off.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you one thing. Over this international break, Mamadou Ugarte needs to be ran to death on the training pitch because he needs to be fucking ready for the next game to come in. I don't want to see any of this bollocks where he's not ready yet. You know what I mean? We'll give him 30 minutes for the first 4 fucking games and then take him off after an hour for the next 4 games. So run the fucking hole off him and make sure he's ready in 2 weeks' time. You know what I mean?
I'll be honest with you, Jack. And I agree with you. And I don't see, it boggles my mind when these guys come in like De Ligt and Mazraoui. And I mean, Mazraoui played since the time that he started, since the time he came in, but De Ligt wasn't there. Zirkzee didn't play. What are these guys doing? I mean, are they just sitting around, you know, eating potatoes? Like, I don't know what they're doing. Like, how can they not be? But how can they not be able to play when they first get there? I mean, it wasn't like they weren't trained. Like, it wasn't like they weren't training with the team. They were with the Netherlands playing in the Euros and training and running because you got to be fit to play in that tournament. You don't just sit around and be like, oh, okay, whatever. No, I mean, I don't agree with it. I think that De Ligt should have played. I mean, not that it would have made, I don't know if it would have made that much of a difference against Brighton, but De Ligt and Zirkzee should have played from the start of that game. Like, I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm like, and the only thing I can say is De Ligt, Garnacho, Zirkzee, they're the last ones in, and they're usually the first ones off is when they sub them. And that's the only reason why I said that about why Rashford maybe got 90 minutes or whatnot is because if you look at the pattern is they're the last ones in, they're the first ones off. But Rashford got subbed against Brighton at the 60-minute mark last game. He didn't play 90. So
yeah, I get you.
But it's I'm sorry, it's going to be tough roads ahead.
Yeah, I understand. Right. I think we'll leave it there, fellas. Disappointing, but we'll be back. Sure, look, I mean, we might take a day or two off and take a bit of a breather and come back maybe late next week to see what's going on. But I appreciate you stopping by as always, lads. Hope you have a good. I'm going drinking now. I don't give a fuck. I am going to drink Guinness. So
I'm gonna go make a rotisserie prime rib.
Lovely. Boys, thanks as always, and I'll chat to you during the week. All right.
All right. We'll see you.
Appreciate it, lads. Anyone else, guys, thanks for watching. Please smash a like in the video. Disappointing day. Sorry I didn't get through the comments. Plenty of comments there. I'll make sure I make up for it on the next one. But look, what can I say? Pull out a beer, sit back and relax, and try and forget about the football, because that was shite. See you during the week. Take it easy.